Here's something kind of weird. Everybody is suddenly popping off about silk knit t-shirts. And that sounds like a lie. If you'd told me that like 6 months ago, I don't think I would have believed you. But it's true. Like on multiple videos of mine and in chats, and I've been seeing it in comments on Instagram and Twitter, I'll see a brand post a new t-shirt they're coming out with or something. And in the comments, people will be like, man, I wish it was silk. Man, this cotton t-shirt, no, you know what I need? I need it in silk. And that feels really weirdly specific. Like, yeah, a silk t-shirt is great. Silk is a fantastic clothing material, but it's like, imagine seeing a sweater and being like, yeah, that's a cool sweater. Would be cooler if it was alpaca. Like, yes, it would be cooler if it was alpaca, but like, what a weird specific pull, right? Well, I guess not. Silk is coming into the mainstream, and I think its use as a material for t-shirts specifically maybe came out of the quiet luxury trend that shows like HBO's Succession really like blew up recently, because it is like a fine material. Silk is for the best of the best, the most expensive of the most expensive, the richest of the rich wear silk t-shirts. So of course you'll see brands like Tom Ford, Zegna, Canali, right? Brunello Cucinelli, Giorgio Armani. They're all doing silk knit t-shirts, but those cost like $3,000 for an effing t-shirt, right? No, everybody wants a silk shirt now. And I almost didn't believe this myself. I was thinking about it, I was like, am I just noticing more people talking about silk shirts, that's what they're looking for? So no, I looked it up, Google Trends, more people than ever are looking for silk shirts right now. It's kind of wild. But listen, I've never seen a trend I did not like. And that is not true, because I still like skinny jeans, and I think straight leg jeans, wide leg jeans, they're great, but no, skinny leg, that's all I want forever and ever because I'm a boomer. But really, a lot of trends are quite cool, and I decided to hop on this one. I wanted to know what the silk knit t-shirt boom is all about. What am I missing out on? So I picked up this very cool, almost like ringer mock neck tee from the Soloist, Takahiro Miyashita, the Soloist, a fantastic Japanese brand. Takahiro Miyashita used to be from Number 9, a very popular archival Japanese brand, and for many years now he's been doing the Soloist, which is a very cool, underrated brand, I'd say, for a lot of people. And this is a fantastic silk knit t-shirt, pure silk, and I want to know, is this worth all of the hype? Is this what everybody's looking for? And is it what they should be looking for? We're also going to compare this to some other t-shirt materials, even some other silk t-shirts, and try and figure out what the big deal is here. And of course, we'll finish off throwing a fit together, trying it on. I'll tell you all about it. So let's dive in. I have a new Instagram, at Low Luxury Clothing. Go follow me there. I post cool stuff. So yeah, at Low Luxury Clothing. See you there. So I definitely do want to compare this to some other brands' t-shirts, but first, let's level check here. Let's see what's going on with this shirt specifically and check out the details here. The Soloist is a brand that can get pretty wild, but this is a very, very tasteful, clean t-shirt, which I think tends to be the kind of go-to for silk knit tees. You can see it's got this ringer style, so these are at the biceps here. It's this nice ribbed knit with these black and gray stripes. They grab you nice and tight. Really clean look. And then that continues at the neck where you get the gray at the tips, and this is a very large neck. It's not your average t-shirt neck. It goes much further, but falls short of being a full-on turtleneck. But again, the ribbing here grabs you super well. And we'll take a look closer up at this knit, but I'm going to save that for last. Let's look at the tags here. First off, we can see this came from Barney's, one of the greatest luxury stores to ever exist. It's a size 48, which for most brands would be like a men's medium. And we got a price, this was $525 at retail. Actually a crazy good price for a silk knit t-shirt. I bet today this same t-shirt from this brand, if they made it now, would be more like 800 bucks. I feel like that'd be the going rate. Now for the details, we've got the size with a little kind of period after. And then some nice kind of like papery tags. And we can see, first off, the shell, so the fabrication, is 100% silk. Love to see it. This ain't no blend here, okay? This is not like a cotton silk blend or any cheap stuff like that. It's pure, baby. And the washing instructions, they do not want you to dry clean this. I guess it wouldn't hold up well, so that'll save me a little bit of money there. But I probably will have to hand wash it, unfortunately. In the bottom there, made in Japan. That's crucial. Japanese-made stuff, they just do it different. It hits different, you know? And then similar info in Japanese on the back side. The back of the shirt is just as clean as the front, except you can see it's actually pretty see-through, pretty like translucent here. That's how thin this silk knit is, and that helps with the comfort, I'll show you. And you can see these like 4 little stitches off in the corners from the brand tag at the back of the neck there. So if we look inside there, we can see that is a woven tag here by Takehiro Miyashita, the Soloist. This is clearly a very early piece from the brand, very old school on all the tags and things. I like it more. It feels more authentic, you know? But okay, the time has come. The time has come to look at the fabrication. So let's zoom in here and get in tight on this pure cotton knit. I'm gonna have to keep a finger in frame just to keep it focused, but you can already see there, it is this really, it's almost mesh-like, the fabrication and the weave here. So you can see every fiber there zoomed in. It's just so soft. Let me get my hand on the inside. Just see a little bit of like peach pink from my fingers there. And this is one of those things that, I mean, I guess you could call it a jersey, but if this were like a long sleeve piece here, if it wasn't short sleeve, I think people would call this a light sweater as opposed to a t-shirt. And this is just so silky soft. The definition of silky. We've got a ribbed hem here. We also didn't mention that. And I really love this treatment. It's got this nice shine to it, a really nice staple of silk pieces. And just feeling it, it really makes you realize why people go for pieces like this. It's something special, and it feels like it's on another level of luxury, honestly. But just feeling expensive, that can't be the only explanation for why people are so into silk knit t-shirts. So I think in order to help answer that question, we need to compare to some other popular styles and fabrications. So first, I think it's really important to understand like the standard that we're measuring against here. So I picked out a standard gray cotton jersey piece from Rosvet, which is Gosha Rubchinski's like skate streetwear brand. And I thought this was a good pick because the necklines are actually incredibly similar here. But on the Soloist silk piece, you can see that fine silk knit. But if we turn to the Rosvet piece, this typical cotton jersey, it's a lot stiffer. It doesn't drape as well. And when you get in close on the fibers, you can just see, you can understand just visually how much less breathability there is here. So that's kind of the most unfair fight though. So what about some other options that are actually comparable without being pure silk? So this is a knit cotton shirt from Saint Laurent. And here you can see that the weave is much, much closer to the Soloist silk piece. It's actually nearly identical when you get in close on the fibers. So does that mean these are the same? I mean, no. Honestly, there are pros and cons to each. This one has actually quite a bit more stretch to it than the silk one, but it is still a bit stiffer, and it doesn't have that nice silk shine that gives off that air of luxury that you get here. This looks very much like cotton. It just feels better because it's more of a knit fabrication, and there's nothing wrong with that. But there are other things that brands can do to make cotton more comfortable as well. One of my favorites is Enfant Riche de Primé and what they do with paper thin cotton t-shirts. So this, you can see, is definitely not a knit fabrication. It's standard cotton jersey, but it is much, much, much thinner. And that makes it drape actually quite similarly to the silk t-shirt over here, and also has an additional softness. But the thing is, it's just a very different kind of softness from the silk. So I think both this ERD piece and the last Saint Laurent one we looked for are great choices for a cotton t-shirt, and all other things being equal, a cotton t-shirt should always be less expensive from a brand than a silk t-shirt. But even then, not all silks are created equal. The types of silk shirts that are gaining the most traction right now by far are the knits, like our Soloist shirt. But brands like Rick Owens will also take silk and use it to make a kind of jersey similar to the ERD paper thin cotton. So this, when we zoom in, we can see very clearly it's not a knit, so it has a very different feel from the Soloist one, but it is silk, just a very different treatment of it. Although, while I love this one is definitely the trendier one, I would say. So in the end, is this worth it? That's hard to say, but definitely you cannot judge it until you've actually worn it. It is time to try on this t-shirt from the Soloist, pure silk knit Japanese t-shirt. But first, before we can do that, we need a fit to go with it. So this being such a luxurious, silky piece, I'm not gonna do the boring t-shirt streetwear luxury look. We gotta go full luxury. We gotta rise to this shirt's level. So what do we have here? First, for bottoms to pair with these, I wanna stay black, but gosh darn it, we've got a beautiful pair of Dior Homme chino pants from Eddie Slimane, his time at the house. It's got this incredible leather detailing here, which is just so sick, and they've got a really nice fit to them as well. For shoes, we have these black, kind of like croc effect leather shoes from Balenciaga with the monk strap and the gold detailing. I feel like matching the silk with like a croc, it just ups the luxury level, you know? And then finally, for outerwear, I have this insane Rick Owens cashmere coat. Super long, super comfortable, some of the nicest fabrication I've ever felt in my life that I think will really pair well with both the materials we're working with, but also the color story and the overall vibe. So that's our fit. We'll accessorize it a bit as well, and let's see what happens. So let's get this fit going one piece at a time. We're starting with those Dior Homme by Eddie Slimane pants. Love that like bondage leather strap stuff going on. Then we move on to the pièce de résistance, the silk t-shirt from Takahiro Miyashita, the Soloist. Wow, that's a mouthful. Then we move on to the shoes. These are the Balenciaga croc leather monk strap derby shoes. And finally, the capper on top of everything, the Rick Owens cashmere coat. And finally, one thing I didn't mention, a nice little Saks Fifth Avenue 24 karat gold paperclip necklace. And once you put it all together, holy hell, you guys, this is one of my favorite fits I've ever put together on this channel. I think it just looks good, period. I don't care what any of you say, I am all about this. But let's talk about the main thing here. This video is about the silk t-shirt, and damn, I love this thing. It's really, really clean. I could see this working with a wide array of fits. Even setting aside the fabrication, the cut is really nice. It accentuates everything you want to accentuate. The arms look good, the neck looks good, the body looks good. It cuts in a really nice spot, and that kind of ribbed hem is really nice, just hitting right under the waistline. Yeah, this is like a near perfect t-shirt. Just clean. Clean. But of course, the entire reason we're here is the fact that it is a silk knit t-shirt. So what about that? Well, when it comes to the fit, it really helps add this bit of drapiness. It has a little bit more weight to it than a typical cotton jersey t-shirt, and that combined with the natural kind of thinness of silk makes it hang off and drape off the body in a really appealing and really flattering way. And as for the feel, I understand why people like silk knit t-shirts, because here's the thing. They have the kind of weight of a light sweater, but all of the breathability and even more compared to a typical cotton t-shirt. So you have the luxurious softness that you get from silk. You have the drape that you get from a knit. And you have the breathability that you get from like an activewear type of mesh. There's like literally nothing to complain about here. And obviously there are lots of different styles that are popping off these days for silk knit short sleeve pieces. Probably the most popular is like a short sleeve button up camp collar type of piece. Knits in those are just huge right now. But you'll also see it in a ton of different types of iterations. So now the final question, like, is a silk t-shirt like this worth it? That's a really heavy question. Obviously, it has a lot to do with how much disposable income you have. I do think it is worth extra money compared to a cotton t-shirt. I think it's unquestionably better, of a higher quality, and just feels better. But often you're gonna pay 2 times as much for a silk piece as a cotton piece, or often even more than that. Is it worth that kind of premium? That's when it starts getting iffy. Like, there's a reason this is one of the first silk t-shirts I've ever looked at on this channel. They're often prohibitively expensive. But the Soloist killed it on this one. I got it for the right price. The look is right, the feel is right, and I'm definitely understanding why this is a trend. All right, that's the video. Thank you so much for watching. Take a look at the other video on screen here. Subscribe to my channel, like this video, and I'll see you next time.